Good morning. This is Higashi's Kaman the Talisman Black Africa. Welcome to our channel. William Samoei Ruto's government is still taxing Kenyans, and it is doing this without a human face. When you look at William Samoei Ruto's government, one thing is constant, kwamba kodi inapanda kila siku. Kila wakati tunasikia kodi imewekwa hata kwa bidhaa ambazo hatugetarajia kwamba zinaweza kuwekwa kodi. When you look at how William Samoei Ruto came to power as a populist president, he promised Kenyans so many things. I don't know whether it is these promises that is making him to tax Kenyans heavily. Yesterday, in its budget statement, in its budget proposal statement, the government promised promised workers more tax. I don't know whether it was a promise, but what I can say is that, you know, civil servants usually pay what you call pay as you earn, but in this channel, I deliberately call it pay as you suffer. So, and pay as you earn is supposed to be 30%. The government increased pay as you earn to 35%. This, in my view, is wrong. This, according to me, should not happen because the government is not increasing the salary of workers. Indeed, we have seen workers going for days without salaries. And this is very, very interesting because it means somebody who earns about, say, 100,000 will pay that 5,000 in form of tax. And then don't forget their other deductions: NHIF, NSSF, sijui wife, children, sijui what. So there's a lot of taxation. And this is the same consumer who is expected to buy Uga at very high prices. Again, the government went ahead and said that it is going to tax human hair, artificial nails, it is going to tax wigs, it is going to tax, is it eye pencils? It is going to tax all those beauty content, I don't know what you call them, those things that women put on their faces, on their head, everything. Kwa hivyo wanawake wakawekwa katika hatari kubwa sana, na pia wasusi biashara zao zikawekwa katika hatari kubwa sana, kwa sababu inamaanisha kwamba it is working against the common mwananchi. Kwa sababu yule msusi ambaye anasuka watu nywele, itamaanisha kwamba she'll be buying human hair at a high cost. The wigs, the whatever, all those items, the beauty products, he is not sparing anything. Those people who deal with cellular phones, and there are so many, by the way, there are so many, they'll have to do away with 10%. 10% if you bring any phone, any cellular, whatever, in Kenya. He increased the tax by 10%. And don't forget there's still VAT, value added tax. And then you add 10%. You can see where we are headed to. Again, look at, again, the landlords. The landlords were given a notice that within 24 hours after collecting their rental incomes, they must surrender all the money that they have deducted to the KRA within 24 hours. If you don't do that, there will be a huge punishment. Previously, unajua walikuwa wakilipa kabla ya tarehe 20 ya mwezi uliofuatilia. It is no longer the case. And what the landlord are going to do are going to be hard on tenants. That means he is still interfering with the business, the property business. Kwa sababu ukiangalia pale, hata kule maisha kutakuwa na ugomvi wa hali ya juu sana kati ya mwenye nyumba na mpagaji, because the landlord has to pay the tax. The landlord has to pay the tax within the stipulated time. So there will be no negotiation. And mark you, this is happening when Azimio is fighting for the high cost of living. So I find it ironical that the government is not addressing the issue. Now, instead of lowering the cost of living, it is making it very, very difficult for the common mwananchi. Again, it is coming at a time when many parents are taking their children back to school. It is happening when many parents are taking their children to colleges. Some of them will be joining college, I think, in the next month or this month, I don't know. But we know next week, most of all the schools in primary school, junior secondary, and senior secondary will be going to back to school. And instead of addressing school fees, the government decided to keep quiet. The government did not address this issue. Serikali haikusema chochote, ilinyamaza tu hivi. Again, when you look at this, you say that there are no new projects. Surely, you ask yourself, why are Kenyans paying a lot of taxes? And the government is saying very clearly that it's not going to start any new projects. Even the old projects, especially the ones that were started by Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, especially those that are in Mount Kenya, the government is giving them a blind eye. It is giving excuses not to complete them in the name of bureaucracy. So why pay all this tax, yet we are not seeing the value for our money? If you go to hospitals, they are not drugs. For sure, they are not drugs. Watu wanaambiwa waende wakajinunulie dawa, unaenda pale unaambiwa unaende ukajinunulie dawa. It is happening at a time when you look at the government and you also realize the cost of electricity is still very high, and the government is still taxing Kenyans mercilessly without caring. Again, it is coming at a time when William Samoei Ruto is having a bloated government. You know, he didn't care when he was told even not to name the chief administrative secretaries in the name. You know, these are the former assistant ministers. So he is having a bloated cabinet. He is having a bloated government. Every day we are hearing him naming Kalijins in various positions, in various parastatals. Lakini ukiangalia utaona kwamba nikana kwamba anawatafutia pesa, nikana kwamba anatafuta pesa for paying these people. Because it is also coming at a time when there is overspending in government. There's a lot of misappropriation of funds. And one of his economic advisors, David Day, said this on a national TV, that William Samoei Ruto's government is wasteful. It wastes a lot of money without caring. It spends a lot of money without caring. And this is happening at a time when a number of government officials, when they are going for overseas trips, they carry the house girls, they carry their relatives, the whole clan. And you see that wakati wanaenda pale hawana majukumu mengine ambayo wanafanya pale. We have seen Moses Kuria, for instance, trotting over the globe from one country to the other. He has become a tourist. And when you look at the value of his trips, we cannot see it because the economy is still hurting. The economy is in bad shape. It is happening when we have seen everybody crying. It is also happening when we have seen the government failing to tackle corruption. Since William Samoei Ruto came to power, he has never mentioned the word corruption. He has never mentioned the word corruption. I don't know why. Even the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission has gone mute. Wananyamaza tu vile pale, na kwa sababu unajua watu wengi ambao wanahusishwa na ufisadi ni wafanyikazi wa serikali na wanasiasa. These are the most corrupt guys. How many times do we see policemen collecting bribes on the road? How many times do we see people going to public offices and wanaitishwa pesa? Ni mara ngapi? And we are seeing it in front of our eyes. Now the government is not even ready to handle this. So there is a lot of money that is getting wasted through corruption. Lakini kile ambacho tunaona ni kwamba serikali haifanyi chochote, inaangalia tu. Again, when you look at what is happening in this country, you should not increase taxes when it comes to appointment to various government offices. Wale watu ambao tunaona wakiteuliwa ni watu kutoka sehemu fulani, sehemu moja tu katika nchi ya Kenya. So, and you see, these people who are funding this government. So if you are funding the government, let us have an equal share. Let us all benefit from this government. Let us not have a government that is taxing everybody because I believe the next thing the government is going to do is going to tax your blood. Wewe una lita gapi za damu mwilini mwako? The government is going to tax our blood, the blood that is flowing in your systems. The government is going to tax even the oxygen that you are breathing. This is the government that we have. A government that is overburdening Kenyans. A government that doesn't care. A government that gives false promises. Remember, the government promised the policemen that it's going to increase their salaries and appointed a reputable judge. And today, up to date, the policemen bado hajaongezewa mishahara. 8 months into down the line, bado mishahara haijaongezwa. I don't know what you think, but if you ask me, I think it is wrong to increase salaries anyhow. Remain peaceful, and please remember to like this video. Bye-bye.